The auction house reeks of desperation and old money. Mara stands on the wooden platform, her bare feet cold against the rough planks. She's 16 years old, thin as a rail, with tangled dark hair that hangs past her shoulders. Her eyes are the color of storm clouds gray, empty, defeated. Around her neck hangs a metal collar with a chain attached. The auctioneer, a fat man in an expensive suit, yanks the chain periodically to display her like livestock. Lot 73, he announces to the crowd. Female, 16 years. Healthy, strong enough for labor. And most importantly, he pauses for dramatic effect. She's mute, can't talk, can't scream, can't tell tales. The crowd murmurs with interest. This auction house operates in the shadows of Chicago, in the industrial district where nobody asks questions. The attendees aren't human. Not all of them, anyway. There are vampires, demons, witches, all the things that go bump in the night, all looking to buy humans for various purposes, none of them good. Mara learned she was mute at age 4. A fever took her voice, and never gave it back. Her mother tried everything, doctors, healers, prayer. Nothing worked. When her mother died 2 years ago, Mara ended up in the foster system, then she ran away. Living on the streets seemed better than the group home where the older kids stole her food and the staff didn't care. But the streets had their own dangers. 3 weeks ago she was grabbed off an alley. Drugged when she woke up, she was here in a cell with 20 other humans, all waiting to be sold. Some cried, some prayed. Mara just waited. What else could she do? We'll start the bidding at 5,000, the auctioneer says. A vampire in the front row raises his paddle. He's young-looking, probably turned in. His 20s, blonde hair, cold blue eyes. 5,000 from the gentleman in row A. 10,000, a female voice from the back. Mara can't see who spoke. 15,000, another vampire. This one old. Ancient, his skin is paper thin and his eyes are milky white. 20,000. The female voice again. The auctioneer's eyes gleam with greed. This is going well for him. 25,000. A new voice, deep, commanding. The entire room falls silent. Every head turns. A man walks down the center aisle. No, not a man. But unlike any vampire Mara has ever seen, he's tall, easily 6'5", broad shoulders wrapped in an expensive black suit. Dark hair pulled back in a low ponytail. But it's his eyes that capture attention. They're gold, pure molten gold, and they're fixed on Mara with an intensity that makes her want to step back. Lord Castellan. The auctioneer stutters. We're honored by your presence. The current bid is 25,000. 50,000, the vampire says. His voice is like thunder. Final, the room erupts in whispers. Lord Castellan. The name carries weight, fear, respect. Even Mara, who knows nothing about vampire society, can feel the power radiating from him. 50,000 going once, the auctioneer says quickly. Nobody else bids. Nobody dares going twice. Sold to Lord Castellan. The vampire approaches the platform. Up close, he's even more intimidating. Ancient power practically vibrates off him, but when he looks at Mara, there's something in his gold eyes, not cruelty. Curiosity maybe, interest definitely, but not the predatory kind she expected. He reaches out and with one swift motion tears the metal collar from her neck like it's made of paper. The chain clatters to the floor. Come, he says simply. Not a command, an invitation. Mara hesitates. But what choice does she have? She follows him out of the auction house, into a black limousine waiting at the curb. The interior is pure luxury. Leather seats, tinted windows, a partition separating them from the driver. Lord Castellan sits across from her, studying her with those unsettling gold eyes. My name is Adrian Castellan, he says. I'm what's known as an elder, one of the oldest vampires in North America. Do you understand? Mara nods. She might be mute, but she's not stupid. Good. I'm going to ask you questions. Nod for yes, shake your head for no. Can you do that? Another nod. Are you hurt? She shakes her head. Are you scared? Mara pauses, then nods honestly. What's the point in lying? Of me specifically? Another nod. Adrian leans back. Fair enough. I'd be scared too if I were in your position. But let me be clear about something. I didn't buy you to hurt you. I bought you because the alternative was worse. Do you know what that old vampire in the third row would have done to you? Mara shakes her head. He collects humans, drains them slowly over months, keeps them alive as long as possible to savor every drop. The woman in the back runs a blood farm. You'd spend the rest of your short life in a cage being bled daily. Mara's eyes widen with horror. But I'm not going to do any of that. Adrian continues. You'll live in my house. You'll have your own room. Food, clothes, safety. In exchange, I need something from you. Here it comes, Mara thinks to catch. I need your blood, Adrian says bluntly. But not like you're thinking once a month. 1 pint, that's all. You'll barely feel it. And you'll be compensated. Does that sound acceptable? Mara doesn't know what to think. This sounds too good to be true. But again, what choice does she have? She nods slowly. Good, Adrian says. The limousine pulls up to a massive estate outside the city. It's like something out of a Gothic novel. Stone walls, towers, gargoyles perched on the roof. The gates open automatically, and they drive through manicured gardens to the front entrance. Inside is just as impressive. Marble floors, crystal chandeliers, priceless art on the walls. A woman appears from a side hallway. She's beautiful in an otherworldly way. Pale skin, black hair, red eyes. Vampire. This is Celine. Adrian introduces. She runs my household, Celine. This is Mara. She'll be staying with us. Set her up in the blue room. Get her whatever she needs. Celine's eyes narrow slightly as she looks at Mara. There's something in her expression, suspicion maybe, or distrust, but she nods. Of course, my lord. Mara follows Celine up a grand staircase, down a long hallway lined with portraits of stern-looking people. The blue room is actually a suite, bedroom, bathroom, sitting area. It's bigger than any place Mara has ever lived. There are clothes in the closet, Celine says. They should fit bathrooms through there. Dinner will be brought to your room in an hour. Don't leave this floor without permission. There are parts of this house that aren't safe for humans. With that cryptic warning, she leaves. Mara stands in the middle of the room trying to process everything. A few hours ago she was in a cage. Now she's in a palace living with vampires. It doesn't feel real. She explores the room. The closet is full of clothes. Simple but high quality. Jeans, sweaters, dresses, all in her size. How did they know the bathroom has a massive tub? Fluffy towels, expensive soaps. Mara can't remember the last time she had a proper bath. She fills the tub and sinks into the hot water with a sigh. The warmth soaks into her bones. She scrubs away weeks of dirt and fear. If you're enjoying this story, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We want to see how far this story reaches. When she emerges, wrapped in a plush robe, there's a tray of food on the table. Real food. Roasted chicken, vegetables, fresh bread. Mara eats slowly, savoring every bite. She's finishing when there's a knock at the door. Adrian enters without waiting for permission. He's changed from his suit into more casual clothes. Dark jeans, black shirt. His gold eyes assess her. Better? He asks. Mara nods. Good. Tomorrow we'll begin. For tonight, rest. You're safe here. He turns to leave but pauses at the door. One more thing. My doctor will examine you in the morning, just routine, to make sure you're healthy. Is that acceptable? Mara hesitates, then nods. What choice does she have? That night, lying in the soft bed, Mara can't sleep. Her mind races with questions. Why did Adrian really buy her? What does he want with her blood? Why once a month specifically? And what did Celine mean about parts of the house being unsafe? She finally drifts off as dawn approaches, and she dreams strange, vivid dreams. She's standing in a field of red flowers under a blood-red moon. A voice speaks, ancient, powerful female. The silent one comes. The bloodborne awakens. The prophecy begins. Mara wakes with a gasp. Sunlight streams through the windows. There's another knock at the door. Come in, she tries to say, forgetting she can't. But the door opens anyway. A man enters, human, middle-aged, with kind eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses. Good morning, he says cheerfully. I'm Dr. Harrison. Lord Castellan asked me to check on you. May I? Mara nods, sitting up. Dr. Harrison is thorough but gentle. He checks her vitals, listens to her heart and lungs, looks in her eyes and throat, draws blood for tests. You're underweight, he says, but otherwise healthy. We'll get some meat on your bones. Any pain? Anywhere? Mara shakes her head. I can't speak at all. Since birth. Mara holds up 4 fingers. Since age 4, I see. Well, have you ever tried sign language? Mara's eyes light up. She nods eagerly. She learned some ASL at school before dropping out. Good, Dr. Harrison smiles. I'll arrange for a tutor. Lord Castellan wants you to be comfortable here. After he leaves, Celine appears with more clothes. Lord Castellan wants to see you in his study. I'll show you the way. The study is a massive room lined with books from floor to ceiling. Adrian sits behind a huge desk, reading something on a tablet. He looks up when they enter. Thank you, Celine. You may go once they're alone. Adrian gestures to a chair. Sit, we need to talk. Mara sits, her hands folded in her lap. Adrian studies her for a long moment. Dr. Harrison says you're healthy. That's good. He also said you know some sign language. I've arranged for a tutor to come 3 times a week within a few months. You should be fluent enough to communicate properly. Mara signs slowly, her hands shaky. Thank you. It's been so long since she had anyone to sign with. Adrian's eyebrows raise. You're welcome now. I'm sure you have questions. I'll answer what I can. Mara thinks for a moment, then signs. Why me? Why by me specifically? Honest answer. Adrian leans back. I didn't plan to. I went to that auction looking for someone else. But when I saw you, I felt something. A pull like fate was telling me you were important. I've learned to trust my instincts over 800 years. 800 years? Mara's eyes widen. Adrian continues. I need to tell you something about vampire society. We're not all the same. There are different bloodlines, different powers. I'm from the Castellan bloodline. We're special. We have abilities other vampires don't. One of those abilities is sensing destiny, fate, whatever you want to call it. And every instinct I have is screaming that you're part of something big. Mara signs I'm nobody, just a mute girl. That's where you're wrong. Adrian says, you may not know it yet, but you're important. Your blood is important. That's why I need to test it once a month. I need to understand what makes it special. Special how? Mara signs. But I will now let me show you around. You'll be living here for the foreseeable future. You should know your way around. The estate is massive. Adrian shows her the main areas. The kitchen where human staff prepare meals, the library with thousands of books, the garden where she's free to walk during the day. Most of the vampires who live here are nocturnal, Adrian explains during the day. It's mostly just you and the human staff. You'll be safe at night. Stay on your floor unless I send for you. Understood? Over the next few weeks, Mara settles into a routine. She wakes early, eats breakfast with the human staff. They're kind to her, welcoming. Most of them have been working for Adrian for years. In the morning she studies with her ASL tutor, an elderly woman named Margaret who's patient and encouraging. Afternoons are spent reading in the library or walking in the garden. At night she stays in her room as instructed. Sometimes she hears sounds from elsewhere in the house, voices, movement. Once a scream that was cut short. She doesn't ask about it. On the 30th day, Adrian summons her to his study. It's time. He says simply, Mara knows what he means. The blood donation. She's been expecting this, dreading it, but also curious. Dr. Harrison is there with his medical kit. This won't hurt much, he promises. Just like a regular blood draw. He's right. It's quick and professional. Adrian watches the entire time, his gold eyes fixed on the vial of blood. Once it's done, Dr. Harrison bandages Mara's arm and leaves. Adrian picks up the vial, holding it up to the light. The blood is normal red, nothing special about it. But when Adrian opens the vial and takes a small taste, his entire body goes rigid. His eyes flash brighter gold. The lights in the room flicker. Impossible. Mara signs frantically. What? What's wrong? Adrian sets down the vial with a shaking hand. Your blood. It's not human. Not entirely. There's something else in it. Something I haven't tasted in over 500 years. What? Mara signs again. Old magic. Ancient magic. The kind that existed before vampires. Before most of the supernatural world. Mara, do you know anything about your family? Your bloodline. Mara shakes her head. My mother never talked about it. I don't know who my father was. Adrian stands pacing. We need to find out, because if your blood is what I think it is, you're not just important. You're invaluable and dangerous. Dangerous? How? There's an old prophecy. Adrian says one of the oldest in vampire lore. It speaks of the bloodborn, a human with the blood of the ancients running through their veins. The prophecy says that when the bloodborn appears, great change will come to the supernatural world. Wars will be fought, powers will shift, and whoever controls the bloodborn controls the future. Mara's hands tremble as she signs controls. Like a weapon, or a tool, or a symbol. The prophecy isn't clear, but every major supernatural faction knows about it. And if they find out about you, they'll come for you, all of them. Then why tell anyone? Mara signs. Why not just hide me? Because hiding won't work forever, Adrian says. The moment I tasted your blood, I felt it. The magic, it's strong. Growing stronger. Eventually others will sense it too. When that happens, we need to be ready. The next morning, Mara wakes to shouting. Loud voices from somewhere in the house. Angry voices. She creeps to her door and cracks it open. Down the hall, she can see Adrian facing off against 3 other vampires, 2 men and a woman, all dressed in expensive clothes, all radiating power. You can't keep her, the woman hisses. She belongs to the council. She belongs to no one, Adrian says coldly. I bought her legally. She's under my protection. The rules change when prophecy is involved, one of the men says. You know this, Castellan. The bloodborne belongs to all of us. She must be brought before the council. Over my dead body, Adrian growls. The lights flicker again. The temperature drops. Even from down the hall, Mara can feel the power building. This is about to turn violent. Before it can, Celine appears from another hallway. My lord, perhaps we should hear what the council offers before making threats? Adrian doesn't take his eyes off the intruders. What are you offering? Safe passage, the woman says. For both of you, come to the council chambers. Present the girl. Let us test her blood. If the prophecy is true, we'll discuss what happens next, peacefully, diplomatically. And if I refuse, then we take her by force, the woman says simply. You're powerful, Castellan, but you can't fight the entire council, not alone. Adrian is silent for a long moment, then fine, but I go with her. And if anyone tries to harm her, diplomacy ends. Understood? The woman smiles coldly. Understood. After they leave, Adrian comes to Mara's room. She's already dressed, her hands shaking slightly as she signs what's going to happen. We're going to the council, Adrian says. It's the vampire ruling body, representatives from all the major bloodlines. They've heard about you, about your blood. They want to see for themselves. Is it dangerous? Mara signs, potentially. But I'll be with you. I won't let anyone hurt you. I promise. That night they drive into the city to a building that looks like an old opera house on the outside. But inside it's clearly something else. Ancient, powerful magic thrums in the air. They're led down a long corridor to a circular chamber tiered. Seating rises up on all sides like an amphitheater. Vampires fill the seats, dozens of them, all ancient, all powerful. In the center of the room is a single chair. Sit. A voice commands. Mara looks at Adrian. He nods. She sits. An elderly vampire descends from the highest tier. He's so old his skin is translucent. His eyes are milky white, but Mara can feel the power radiating from him. I am Lucien. He says, High Council Elder. We have called you here to verify a claim. Lord Castellan believed you are the bloodborne of prophecy. Is this true? Mara doesn't know what to say. She looks at Adrian helplessly. She's mute. Adrian says she communicates through sign language. Then let her blood speak, Lucien says. He nods to another vampire. Take a sample. Dr. Harrison steps forward. He wasn't there before. When did he arrive? He takes Mara's blood quickly and professionally. The sample is placed in a crystal vial and brought to Lucien. The ancient vampire holds it up to the light, opens it, takes the smallest taste, and freezes. The entire chamber goes silent. Every vampire is watching, waiting. Lucien's milky eyes clear for just a moment, flashing bright silver. By the ancients, he breathes. It's true, the bloodborne walks among us. The chamber erupts. Vampires shouting, some in excitement, some in fear, some in anger. Order! Lucien's voice cracks like a whip. Silence falls immediately. This changes everything. Lucien continues. The prophecy speaks of great change, of war and peace, of power and sacrifice. The bloodborne must be protected, studied, prepared. Prepared for what? Adrian demands. For her destiny, Lucien says the prophecy is not complete. It speaks of a choice the bloodborne must make, a choice that will determine the fate of our kind. What choice? Adrian asks. We don't know, Lucien admits. That knowledge was lost centuries ago. All we know is that when the time comes, the bloodborne will face a decision, and that decision will change the supernatural world forever. Mara's hands shake as she signs to Adrian. I don't want this. I just want to be left alone. Adrian translates for her. Lucien's expression softens slightly. I understand, child. But destiny rarely asks what we want. You were born for this, whether you accept it or not. The council debates for hours about what to do with Mara. Some want her locked away for protection. Others want her trained. A few want her killed to prevent the prophecy from coming true. Adrian stands firm throughout. She stays with me under my protection. That's not negotiable. Finally, Lucian raises a hand for silence. Lord Castellan has claimed responsibility for the Bloodborne. I see no reason to overrule him, however. Conditions must be met. What conditions? Adrian asks warily. First, the girl must be protected at all times. You will assign guards, build defenses, whatever is necessary. Second, her existence remains secret from the other supernatural factions. If the wolves or the witches learn of her, they'll come for her. Third, you will allow council researchers access to study her blood. We must understand the prophecy better. Adrian looks at Mara. She signs. Do I have a choice? Always. Adrian signs back. He learned the basics from Margaret. If you want to refuse, I'll fight them all. Mara thinks about her options. She could refuse, but then what? Or she could agree. Stay with Adrian at least. He's been kind to her. She signs. I'll agree, but I want something in return. What? Adrian asks. I want to learn to defend myself. If I'm so important, I need to be able to protect myself, not just rely on others. Adrian smiles slightly. It's the first time she's seen him smile. I think that can be arranged. He addresses the council. She agrees to your terms. With one addition, I train her. Combat defense, everything she needs to survive in our world. A human learning our ways. One council member scoffs. Impossible. Nothing is impossible, Adrian says. And she's not fully human, remember? The ancient blood, she might surprise you. Lucian considers. Very well, train her if you can. But the other conditions stand. Agreed, Adrian says. They return home as dawn breaks. Mara is exhausted. Mentally, emotionally, physically. She collapses into bed and sleeps through the entire day. When she wakes, it's night again. There's a note on her bedside table in Adrian's elegant handwriting. Training begins tomorrow. Wear comfortable clothes. Be ready to work. The next morning, Adrian takes her to a part of the estate she hasn't seen before. A training room in the basement. It's huge, padded floors. Training dummies will start with the basics. Adrian says, fitness, flexibility, strength. Once you have a foundation, we'll move to actual combat. The training is brutal. Adrian doesn't go easy on her because she's small or female or mute. He pushes her to her limits and then beyond. She runs until her lungs burn, does push-ups until her arms shake, stretches until she cries from the pain. But she doesn't quit, can't quit, because he was right. If she's going to survive in this world, she needs to be strong. After 2 weeks of basic training, Adrian starts teaching her to fight hand-to-hand combat first. How to punch properly, how to block, how to use her smaller size as an advantage. You'll never be as strong as a vampire, Adrian explains. But you can be faster, smarter, more unpredictable. He's a good teacher. Patient but demanding. He shows her a move once, then makes her repeat it 100 times until it's muscle memory. 1 month into training, something changes. Mara is sparring with Adrian when she moves faster than she should. Faster than humanly possible. She's behind him before he can react, her training knife at his throat. They both freeze. How did you do that? Adrian asks slowly. Mara steps back, her hands shaking. She doesn't know. It just happened again, Adrian says. Try to do it again. Mara tries. And this time she feels it. A surge of something inside her. Power magic. She moves, not quite vampire speed but close, faster than any human. Adrian catches her this time, but barely. Your blood, he says. The ancient magic. It's not just for show. It's giving you abilities. What kind of abilities? Mara signs. I don't know yet, but we're going to find out. Over the next weeks they experiment. Mara discovers she's stronger than she should be. Not vampire strong, but stronger than any human. She heals faster too. A cut that should take days to heal is gone in hours. And the speed. That's the most useful. When she taps into the magic, she can move almost as fast as a young vampire. This is incredible, Adrian says after one particularly impressive display. With training, you could hold your own against most supernatural threats. But not all, Mara signs. Not the old ones, not the really powerful ones. but enough to survive to escape if you need to. The training becomes her life. Morning runs, afternoon combat practice, evening strength training. In between she studies with Margaret, improving her sign language, and she reads everything she can find about vampires, about prophecies, about the supernatural world. 3 months after the council meeting, Mara is in the library when Selene finds her. Lord Castellan wants to see you in his study immediately. Something in Selene's tone makes Mara nervous. She follows quickly in the study. Adrian is not alone. There are 2 other vampires with him. A man and a woman, both look ancient, powerful. Mara, these are Marcus and Isolde Blackwood. Adrian introduces. They're council researchers. They're here to study your blood. Marcus steps forward. He's tall with silver hair and cold gray eyes. We'll need multiple samples, and we'll need to run tests. Some may be uncomfortable. Mara signs to Adrian. What kind of tests? They want to see how your blood reacts to different stimuli. Vampire venom, werewolf blood, witch magic, various supernatural substances. Is it dangerous? It shouldn't be, but there are no guarantees. Mara thinks for a moment, then signs. If it helps us understand the prophecy, I'll do it. The tests begin immediately. They're indeed uncomfortable. The Blackwoods take sample after sample. They expose her blood to different substances. Watch how it reacts. Take notes. After the first day, Mara is exhausted. But the researchers aren't done. They return every day for a week. By the end, Mara has dozens of needle marks on her arms. She's pale, weak, but the Blackwoods are excited. The results are extraordinary, Marcus reports to Adrian. Mara is there too, wanting to hear. Her blood doesn't just contain ancient magic. It's actively creating it, regenerating it, like a wellspring. What does that mean? Adrian asks. It means, Isolde says, that theoretically, her blood could be used to create powerful magical artifacts, weapons, spells, or even… She pauses. Even what? Adrian demands. Turn humans into something more, Isolde finishes. Not vampires. Not exactly, but something enhanced, something powerful. The room goes silent. That cannot become public knowledge, Adrian says firmly. If word gets out that her blood can do that, every supernatural faction will go to war over her. Agreed, Marcus says. We've taken precautions. Only the 3 of us. And the High Council know the full results. After the Blackwoods leave, Mara signs to Adrian. They want to use me, my blood, to make weapons or soldiers or whatever, don't they? Some might, Adrian admits, but I won't let them. You're not a resource to be harvested. You're a person, and I'll protect you. Why? Mara signs. Why do you care so much? You barely know me. Adrian is quiet for a long moment. Because 800 years ago I failed to protect someone I loved, my sister. She was killed because I wasn't strong enough, wasn't fast enough. I swore I'd never let that happen again. I'm not your sister, Mara, signs no. But you're under my protection. That means something to me. It means everything. That night, Mara dreams again, the same field of red flowers, the same blood moon, but this time the voice is clearer. The time approaches. The choice draws near. Blood will be spilled. Sacrifice is made. Are you ready, Silent One? Mara tries to ask what she needs to be ready for, but she has no voice, even in dreams. She wakes to chaos, alarms blaring, shouting from downstairs. She grabs the training knife Adrian gave her, runs to the door in the hallway. Vampires are running, some towards the main entrance, some towards the exit. Selene appears. Stay in your room. Lock the door. Mara signs frantically. We're under attack, rogues. They've come for you. Before Mara can respond, an explosion rocks the house. The windows shatter. Fire erupts in the east wing. And through the smoke and chaos Mara sees them. Vampires, dozens of them. But not like Adrian's people. These are feral, wild, their eyes burning red with bloodlust. They know, Selene hisses. Someone told them about the Bloodborne. Adrian appears, moving so fast he's almost a blur. He's in full combat mode, his gold eyes blazing, his fangs extended. Get her to the safe room. Now Selene grabs Mara's arm, pulls her down the hallway. Behind them, the sounds of fighting, screaming, dying. They reach a hidden door. Selene presses her palm to a scanner. The door opens to reveal a reinforced room. Inside, don't come out until I come get you. Mara wants to argue, but Selene shoves her inside and slams the door, locks it from the outside. Mara is alone in the dark. and all she can do is wait and listen to the sounds of war above her. The safe room is small, windowless, soundproof almost, but Mara can still feel the vibrations, the thuds and crashes from above, the battle raging through Adrian's estate. She sits in the corner clutching her training knife. It won't do much against vampires, but it's better than nothing. Hours pass or maybe minutes. Time loses meaning in the dark. Finally, the door opens. Mara jumps up, knife ready, but it's Adrian. He's covered in blood, his clothes torn, but his gold eyes are focused and alert. It's over. He says they're all dead or driven off. Who were they? Mara signs. Rogues from the Western clans. Someone told them about you. About what your blood can do. They thought if they could take you, they could use your blood to create an army. Did you find out who told them? Not yet, but I will. There's a traitor somewhere. In my house or on the council. And when I find them, they'll wish they were never turned. The damage to the estate is extensive. The East Wing is destroyed. 3 of Adrian's vampires are dead. Several more injured. The human staff is traumatized. Dr. Harrison treats the wounded. Mara helps where she can, bringing supplies, comforting those in pain even though she can't speak. Her presence seems to calm people. You have a gift, Dr. Harrison says. A healer's touch. Mara doesn't feel like she has any gifts, just a cursed bloodline that makes her a target. A week after the attack, Adrian calls another meeting with the council. This time they come to him. Too dangerous to move Mara after what happened. Lucian arrives with a contingent of guards, younger vampires, strong, loyal. We've been investigating the leak. Lucian says without preamble. We found the traitor. Who? Adrian demands. One of my own staff, Lucian admits. A vampire named Thomas. He was being paid by the Western clans. We've dealt with him. Dealt with how? Permanently. Lucian says coldly. But that's not the only news. We've made progress on translating the prophecy. The complete version. Adrian leans forward. It's worse than we thought, Lucian says. He pulls out an ancient scroll. The paper is yellow with age. The writing is in a language Mara doesn't recognize. The prophecy speaks of a choice. Lucian reads, when the blood moon rises for the 3rd time in a single year, the bloodborne must choose sacrifice herself to save the supernatural world, or refuse and watch it burn. The room goes silent. Mara's hands shake as she signs. Sacrifice? You mean die? The prophecy isn't clear on the specifics. Lucian says, but yes, it seems to indicate that your death, performed in a specific ritual, would prevent some great catastrophe. What catastrophe? Adrian asks, again unclear. But the prophecy mentions the rising an ancient evil that was locked away millennia ago. It says the rising will come when the bloodborne appears, and only the bloodborne's sacrifice can stop it. That's insane, Adrian says. You're talking about killing a 16-year-old girl to prevent something that might not even happen. It will happen, Lucian says. The signs are already appearing. Strange occurrences, magical disturbances, creatures that should be extinct being spotted. The rising is coming, and when it does, the bloodborne must make her choice. Mara stands up. Her hands move rapidly as she signs. No one is going to force me to die. I don't care about your prophecy or your rising. I just want to live. And you have that right. Adrian says firmly, we'll find another way. There is no other way, Lucian says. The prophecy is clear. Without the sacrifice, the rising cannot be stopped. And if the rising completes, it will destroy not just the supernatural world, but the human world too. Everything. Everyone gone. Then we have until the 3rd blood moon. Adrian says. How long? 6 months, Lucian says. The 1st blood moon happened 2 months ago. The 2nd is in 2 months. The 3rd in 6 months total. 6 months to find another solution, Adrian says, because I'm not letting her die. I don't care what the prophecy says. After the council leaves, Mara and Adrian sit in his study. The fire crackles in the hearth outside. Snow is beginning to fall. I'm sorry, Adrian says quietly. For all of this, you didn't ask to be the bloodborne. You didn't ask for any of this. It's not your fault, Mara signs. Yes, it is. I should have left you at that auction. Let someone else buy you, maybe you'd be safer. Or maybe I'd be dead, Mara signs. You saved me, gave me a home, taught me to fight. Whatever happens, I'm grateful for that. Adrian looks at her for a long moment. You're brave, braver than most vampires I know, braver than I was when I was human. What were you like? Mara signs as a human weak. Adrian says I was the 2nd son of a minor noble. No real power, no real purpose. Then plague came to our village. Killed most of my family. Including my sister, I survived but barely. How did you become a vampire? Mara signs. A vampire found me dying, offered me a choice. Die human or live forever as something more. I chose to live, but I didn't realize what I was giving up. The sun warmth, the ability to eat real food, the chance to have a family. I've been alive 800 years, and I spent most of them alone. You're not alone now, Mara signs. Adrian smiles sadly. No, I suppose I'm not. The next months pass quickly. Adrian intensifies Mara's training, not just combat now. Survival strategy, magic. He brings in witches to teach her basic spells, werewolves to teach her about their weaknesses, demons to show her how they think. You need to know everything, Adrian explains. Because the Rising won't just be one threat. It'll be everything. All the ancient evils that were locked away, they'll all come at once. Mara soaks up knowledge like a sponge. She practices until her hands bleed, until she can barely stand, and slowly she gets better. Stronger, faster. The magic in her blood responds to her will. Now she can enhance her speed whenever she wants, strengthen her body, even heal minor wounds rapidly. You're becoming formidable, Celine admits one day. She'd been watching Mara's training for a human. I'm not fully human, Mara signs. None of us really knows what I am. The second blood moon comes and goes. 4 months left. Adrian spends every spare moment researching, looking for any alternative to the sacrifice. He consults with every scholar, every historian, every mystic he can find. But the answer is always the same. The prophecy is absolute. The bloodborn must die or the world ends. There has to be another way, Adrian insists. Prophecies can be wrong. They can be misinterpreted. Not this one. An ancient witch tells him, I've seen it myself. In visions. In dreams. The girl dies or everyone dies. Those are the only options. 3 months before the third blood moon, something happens. Mara is in the garden when she feels it. A pull, like something is calling to her. She follows the feeling into the woods beyond the estate, deeper and deeper until she reaches a clearing she's never seen before. In the center is a stone, ancient, covered in symbols. She touches it, and the world explodes in light. Visions flood her mind. She sees the past. Ancient times before vampires. Before most of the supernatural world, she sees the first humans discovering magic, using it, abusing it. She sees them accidentally opening a door. A door to somewhere else, somewhere dark. And through that door comes the rising creatures of nightmare, beings of pure chaos and destruction. She sees the ancient mages fighting back, barely winning, sealing the door with a spell powered by blood. Special blood, blood like hers. She sees the mages create a failsafe, a way to reseal the door if it ever opens again, but it requires sacrifice. A life for a lock. The visions end. Mara collapses. When she wakes, Adrian is there. He found her and carried her back. What happened? He demands. Mara's hands shake as she signs what she saw. Everything, the truth about the Rising. About why her sacrifice is needed. Your blood is the key, Adrian says slowly. Literally. It's the same magic that sealed the door the first time. So I really do have to die, Mara signs. No, Adrian says firmly. There's always another way. Always, we just have to find it. But as the weeks pass, it becomes clear there might not be another way. Every expert says the same thing. The spell requires death, not just blood, but life, soul, everything. 2 months before the third blood moon, the first sign of the Rising appears. A small town in Montana is destroyed, not by natural disaster, by something else. Something that leaves no survivors and no bodies. Just emptiness. It's starting, Lucian says at the emergency council meeting. The door is opening, slowly but surely. How long before it's fully open? Adrian asks. Hard to say. But once it is, the creatures will pour through, and there won't be enough of us to stop them. 1 month before the third blood moon, Mara makes a decision. She calls Adrian to her room. I've decided, she signs. I'm going to do it, the sacrifice. No. Adrian says immediately. We still have time. We can find another way. There is no other way, Mara signs. You know it. I know it. Everyone knows it. The prophecy is clear. I won't let you die, Adrian says. His gold eyes are fierce, almost desperate. You're not my sister, Mara signs gently. I know you couldn't save her, but you can't save me either. Not from this. This is my choice. My sacrifice to save everyone, including you. There has to be another way, Adrian repeats, but his voice is weak. He knows she's right. Teach me the ritual, Mara signs. I want to understand what I'm doing, what it means. Adrian looks like he might refuse, but finally he nods. The ritual is simple but specific. It must be performed at a place of power during the blood moon. You'll need to spill your blood onto the seal. All of it as you die. Your soul will be absorbed into the magic used to reinforce the lock. It should hold for another 1,000 years. Will it hurt? Mara signs. I don't know. Adrian admits. Probably, but it should be quick. That's something at least, Mara signs. She tries to smile. Fails. The final weeks pass in a blur. Mara spends her days training not because she needs to anymore, but because it helps her not think about what's coming. She spends her evenings with Adrian, talking, learning, just being together. Tell me about the sun, she signs one night. I can barely remember what it feels like. Adrian's expression grows distant. It's warm, not just physically but emotionally, like being wrapped in a blanket of light. I miss it every day, even after 800 years. What else do you miss? Mara signs. Food, real food. The taste, the texture. The pleasure of eating as a vampire blood is sustenance, but it's not the same. Music, we can still enjoy music. That's one thing we didn't lose. In fact, I think we appreciate it more. Every note, every harmony. It's one of the few truly beautiful things left to us. What will you do? Mara signs. After I'm gone? I don't know, Adrian admits. I've spent so long protecting you, fighting for you when you're gone. I'm not sure what my purpose will be. You'll find a new one, Mara signs. You've been alive 800 years. You'll be alive 800 more. You'll find new people to protect, new causes to fight for. Maybe, Adrian says, but he doesn't sound convinced. 1 week before the third blood moon, Lucian arrives with news. We've found the location for the ritual. There's an ancient seal in New Mexico, deep in the desert. It's where the first mages performed the original spell. That's where it needs to happen. Is it secure? Adrian asks. As secure as we can make it, but we expect attacks. Every supernatural faction that opposes the sacrifice will try to stop it, and every creature slipping through the rising will try to reach her. Then we'll need an army, Adrian says. I'm calling in every favor I'm owed, every vampire who's ever been in my debt. We'll have an army. The preparations begin immediately. Vampires from all over North America converge on the estate. Old ones, young ones, warriors all. Witches arrive to set up magical defenses. Werewolves come to guard the perimeter. Even some demons offer their services. All of this, Mara signs to Adrian. For me, you're saving the world, Adrian says. The least we can do is make sure you succeed. 3 days before the blood moon, they travel to New Mexico, a caravan of vehicles. Hundreds of supernatural beings all converging on a patch of desert that looks like nothing special, but Mara can feel it, the power thrumming beneath the ground. The seal is a circle of stones, ancient, weathered, but still strong. In the center is a flat stone altar. This is where she'll die. Camps are set up around the site, guards posted. Magical wards erected. Everyone prepares for the inevitable attack, because it will come. They all know it. The night before the blood moon, Mara can't sleep. She walks through the camp, past vampires sharpening weapons, witches preparing spells, werewolves in quiet discussion. Couldn't sleep either. Celine appears beside her. Too much to think about, Mara signs. I want to apologize, Celine says. When you first came to us, I was suspicious, cruel even. I thought you were just some human who would bring trouble. I was right about the trouble, but wrong about you. You're brave, honorable. I'm proud to have known you. It means more than Celine probably knows. Will you do something for me? Celine asks after. Will you tell Adrian he needs to let himself feel again? He spent so long being the strong one, the protector, but he needs to grieve, to hurt, to be human, even if he's not anymore. I won't be able to tell him anything, Mara signs. After I'll be gone. Then I'll tell him, Celine says, but it would mean more coming from you. Write him a letter, something he can read after. Mara nods. It's a good idea. She returns to her tent and writes. It takes hours. She has so much to say. Thank you for saving me, for giving me a home, for teaching me to be strong, for showing me what family means. She writes about her fears, her regrets, her hope that her death won't be in vain, and she writes about Adrian himself, about how he's not the cold, emotionless vampire he pretends to be. about how she sees his kindness, his pain, his humanity. Don't let me be your last, she writes. Don't spend the next 800 years alone. Find someone, protect someone, love someone. That's how you honor my sacrifice, by living, really living. The day of the third blood moon dawns clear and hot. The desert sun beats down mercilessly, but as evening approaches, clouds begin to gather. Not natural clouds. Something else. Something dark. They're coming, Lucian says, the rising. And everyone who wants to stop the ritual. How long? Adrian asks. An hour? Maybe 2. Adrian finds Mara. She's dressed in simple white robes, the traditional garb for a sacrifice. Her dark hair is braided. Her gray eyes are calm, accepting. Are you ready? He asks. No, Mara signs honestly, but I'm going to do it anyway. I have something for you. Adrian pulls out a small box. Inside is a necklace, a simple silver chain with a small pendant, shaped like a crescent moon. It was my sister's, he says. I want you to have it so you're not alone. Even at the end, Mara puts it on. The metal is cool against her skin. Thank you, she signs, for everything you saved me. In every way a person can be saved. And now I have to let you go. Adrian's voice is rough. I don't know if I can. You can, Mara signs. You're the strongest person I know. You'll survive this. And you'll keep fighting, keep protecting. That's who you are. I wish we had more time, Adrian says. I wish a lot of things, but wishes don't change destiny. They walk to the seal together. The sun is setting, the moon is rising, and it's red. Blood red. Just like the prophecy said. Around them the army prepares. Weapons ready, magic charged. Everyone knows what's coming. The attack begins as full darkness falls. Creatures pour out of the desert. Things that shouldn't exist, nightmares made flesh, the ancient evils of the rising. They slam into the defensive lines. Vampires fight with supernatural speed. Werewolves tear into enemies with claws and fangs. Witches throw spells that light up the night. Demons use their own dark magic. It's chaos. Beautiful and terrible. Mara watches from the seal. She should be terrified, but she feels calm. This is her purpose, her destiny. It's time, Lucian says. He's brought the ritual knife, ancient, made from a metal that doesn't exist anymore. Do you know what to do? Mara nods. She studied the ritual, memorized every step. She takes the knife, walks to the center altar, lies down on the cold stone. The blood moon is directly overhead, now full perfect. She can feel the magic in her blood responding, awakening, growing stronger. Adrian appears beside her. The fighting continues around them. But here, in the eye of the storm, it's quiet. Last chance. He says we can still run, still fight, still find another way. Mara smiles, shakes her head. She's made her choice. She picks up the knife and begins the ritual, the ancient words Lucian taught her. She doesn't speak them, can't, but she signs them in the air, and somehow the magic understands. The seal beneath her begins to glow, soft blue light at first, then brighter, brighter. The knife cuts into her wrist. The pain is sharp, but brief. Blood flows, red against white robes, red against blue light. She cuts the other wrist. More blood. It pools beneath her, flows into the cracks of the seal, and the magic drinks it in, hungry. Desperate, she can feel it now. The door, the one the ancient mages sealed, it's open, not fully, but enough. Creatures are pouring through. But as her blood feeds the seal, as her life flows out, the door begins to close, slowly, painfully, but closing. Adrian holds her hand. She can see tears on his face. Vampires don't cry, but he's crying now. Thank you, he whispers. For everything. For teaching me to feel again. Mara squeezes his hand weakly. She wants to say so much, but her strength is fading. The world is growing dim. Cold. She can feel her soul being pulled. Drawn into the magic, becoming part of the seal, part of the lock that will hold back the darkness. It doesn't hurt. Not anymore. It feels like falling asleep, like coming home. Her last thought is of Adrian, of how he found her dying in an auction house, how he saved her, gave her purpose, gave her meaning, even if only for a few months. That was enough. That was everything. The light explodes, blinding, deafening. When it fades, Mara is still gone, but the seal is complete, glowing with power, unbreakable. And around them, the creatures of the rising are being pulled back, sucked into the closing door. They fight, they scream, but the magic is too strong, fed by Mara's sacrifice, her blood, her soul. The door slams shut, the seal locks, and silence falls. The battle is over, the world is saved, but the cost. Adrian looks at Mara's body, so small, so still, the white robe stained red. He gently closes her gray eyes, the storm clouds that made him stop at an auction, that made him buy a mute girl for $50,000. Those eyes are closed forever now. She was 16, he says to no one. Everyone. She was just a child. And she saved us all. Lucian approaches, places a hand on Adrian's shoulder. Her sacrifice will be remembered. Honored. We'll build a monument here, so no one forgets what she did. A monument isn't enough, Adrian says. His voice is cold, empty. Nothing is enough. They bury her at the seal. It seems right. Her body and soul are already part of the magic, the part of the protection. Let them be together. The funeral is attended by hundreds. Every vampire who fought, every witch, every werewolf, every supernatural being who understands what was at stake. Adrian doesn't speak. Can't he just stands beside the grave, holding the letter Mara wrote, reading it over and over. Don't spend the next 800 years alone, she wrote. Find someone, protect someone, love someone. That's how you honor my sacrifice, by living. Years pass. 10, 20, 50. Adrian keeps his promise. He doesn't shut down, doesn't go back to being the cold, emotionless elder he was before he finds new people to protect, new causes to fight for. He opens his estate to supernatural refugees, those fleeing persecution, those with nowhere else to go. He builds schools, libraries, safe havens, and every year, on the anniversary of the third blood moon, he returns to the seal, to the monument they built, a simple stone with Mara's name, and beneath it the silent one who spoke with her blood. He leaves flowers, red ones like the field in her dreams, and he tells her about the year, about the people he helped, the lives he saved, about how he's trying to live, really live, like she asked. 100 years after her death, Adrian is sitting by the monument when he feels it, a pull like something is calling to him. He follows the feeling into the desert, and there in a clearing he's never seen before is a girl. Maybe 16. Dark hair. Gray eyes. She's unconscious. Adrian kneels beside her. This moment feels familiar, like fate, like destiny. The girl's eyes flutter open and she smiles, just like Mara did all those years ago. Adrian feels something crack in his chest. The same thing that cracked when he first saw Mara. I'm going to save you, he says. Not a question, a promise, because this is how he honors Mara's sacrifice, by continuing to save people, by continuing to protect, by continuing to live. The girl nods weakly, and Adrian picks her up, carries her to his car, drives her home, to safety, to healing, to a new beginning. Maybe she's a reincarnation. Maybe she's just another lost soul who needs help. Maybe it's coincidence, or maybe there's no such thing as coincidence. Maybe the universe, fate, destiny, whatever you want to call it, maybe it knew Adrian needed this, needed to be reminded that life goes on, that there are always more people to save, more lives to touch, more love to give. In his pocket the letter crinkles, Mara's last words. Live. She wrote, really live. And that's exactly what he'll do, for her, for this new girl, for everyone who needs him. Because that's what you do when someone sacrifices everything for you. You honor them by living, by loving, by never giving up. Forever. Did this story touch your heart? Let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more incredible stories.